I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for sharing another moment, for choosing to consider today's topic. Might be a little bit of a spicy one of those topics that can be a little bit hard to really explore in full depth. I don't know if we can, but we're gonna try to. I'll share some opinions, if anything. My opinion on money is, and this is something that I thought about yesterday, is that it is something that creates the opportunity for exploitation, pretty much, as like the core of what it is I want to talk about today. Now, I don't think money is something evil in and of itself, but I do think the way money allows us a certain level of freedom or power in this life that we're living in today is evil, right? For instance, if you don't have the skills, if you grow up in a small town and you don't have the skills to, you know, earn a high income, for example, you might have to resort to basically having yourself exploited in order just to get by, right? And I feel that needing to get by, the fact that we're expected to survive, is something that doesn't sit right with me. So, yeah, we've talked about it so many times. Let's talk about it some more. I feel watching Moulin Rouge kind of like really echoed that sentiment again to me. Also watched The Big Lebowski, and again, you know, money. Yeah, money is all fucked up. Yeah. Oh goodness, Nancy, it's nice having you, Cable and Jovan and Shan. So much love to all of you. Thank you for joining me. Money is just a means to bring about the heart's desire. What does the human heart desire? Mostly nonsense. That is a beautifully made point, Sam. I agree in part, right? But the human heart also desires food, unfortunately, right? We need to keep eating, otherwise our hearts stop beating. How cute is that? And I feel that is something that doesn't sit right with me, right? And like I've shared the sentiment of the ultimate goal of what it is we're doing here, and I wrote about it extensively today again. How in a naive, idealized mindset, ignorant, unknowable type of way, I believe that in doing what it is we're doing right now, in choosing out of the everything I could do, choosing to show up for love, I believe we will save the world, right? And saving the world to me looks like every single person has a place to live, every single person has food to eat, every single person has access to community, right? Even if that means electronically. That's what I believe. Thank you, Kevo. Money can also be love. It can! It can be love. But people will also sell their bodies for money, right? The actual act of love could be, would be, will be traded for capital. I think I'm seeing a new swallow. It looks very young. How cute. So yeah, money is energy. Money is energy, but those who hold the most of it are the most powerful, right? And it's like a merry-go-round in a way. How can I explain this fractal that I'm seeing? I feel it is just skewed, right? Extremely so. Extremely so. Because the more money you have, the more powerful you become, right? Like your money starts working for you. A person who earns $1,000 a month will probably use most of it, right? All of it just to survive. A person who earns $1 million a month will still spend the amount of money they need to survive, but then they will have all of that excess that can be invested into other things that will help them generate even more capital the next month, right? So I feel I don't think money needs to be abolished completely. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I do think, something like universal basic income makes sense in that capacity. Like enough capital for you to survive. And then if you want to earn more money for whatever leisure your heart's desires, as Sam beautifully said, the nonsense you want, then it makes sense for you to provide value, to create more value. And I honestly believe that people will be able to generate more value than less if they don't have to worry about just living, right? Like there will be more love, there will be more true love, there will be more loyalty. Loyalty. If we don't have to worry about money, I hope so at least. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll see. Money is evil? Nah. I think the exploitation that money allows, that is evil. I don't think money in and of itself is evil. Money in and of itself is just energy, right? It's just a medium. Did you cry at the end of Moulin Rouge Melt? I did. I did, Shan. Again, right? The losing someone. Going through the process of sacrificing everything, right? Letting go of your own ego, being so full of hope, right? This uselessly full of hope, and still, is that SRS? SRS. Thank you for the kissy kissies. And now stop, right? Now you're gonna just like say words, only full sentences, full sentences. SRS, so we can talk back because I can't say anything to when you're checking to make sure he paid attention to the plot. I had the best. Like it's the plot is a love story, right? That's what the plot is. Like I was watching a love story. It was so insane. Like the amount of overboardedness, the amount of you think this is crazy? There's more crazy. How about some more craziness? How about some more crazy on top of the crazy? How about some more in your faceness? Like it felt very Bollywood-esque in a way. I had the best night's sleep that I can remember in a long time. Not longer at all, but of the highest quality. Doubt that. You did have a hard day yesterday, right? Maybe that had a part in it. Your hard work paid off in good sleep. My last marching band show, I guess, was Moulin Rouge inspired, but I still haven't seen it. Moulin Rouge was actually a real place as well. Go figure. Like I don't know if it's based on a true story, but it's based on a true place. It's quite something. It is quite something. Ezra, it's nice having you here, friend. I don't know how anyone could not cry at the end. So yeah, like must be heartless. I need more of both money and actual energy. Tripped another breaker last night. How's the sun coverage where you are? Maybe like some solar panels on the roof connected directly to lights or something. I didn't say money was evil, did I? I said it's an enabler. Yeah, it enables the people who have it to take advantage of those who don't. Right? Like for instance, there's two people, standing in a room, and then another person walks into the room and has a bottle of ketchup in his hand and then sprays the walls of said room with ketchup. And then says, this ketchup needs to be clean the next time I come back. Otherwise, I'll be big trouble. The person who has $1 million, right? Let's say in this world, money actually has value. The person who has $1 million could easily take advantage of the person who has nothing to get him to clean the room because he has that power, right? And does that make him evil? Not necessarily. I don't think it makes him evil. Maybe makes him a little lazy. Maybe makes him a businessman, right? Whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is the power dynamic that money kind of allows. And I feel like that is something we should be more aware of than anything, right? Not to let our power be taken by something as silly as money. Because it's so easy. There's a lot of money out there in the world, a lot of it. And there's a lot of ways you can earn it, steal it, or coerce it, or manipulate it, or etc. etc. Ah, and the only thing I know is that you can only worship one God, right? I believe the God we're trying to worship is love over money. Sure, as our beloved Cable kind of beautifully demonstrated, money can be love. Cable from a place of love sent some money. And by the way, Cable, it is $1.34. So, Jovan, there's for you as well. Who did you lose? Nobody yet. Oh, I'm gonna get back into it. Morning, Joy V. It was nice seeing you too. I was just kidding, Sam. Don't take me seriously. I'm asleep high. I just wanted to share some love with Mel. Thank you for the bear. You're right. Money as an abstraction has some negative sides to it, as all things does. Right? All things have negative sides to it. But love, yo, Skapao. I actually brought myself some rolling stuff. Right? I do kind of miss the pattern we used to have in these streams of me rolling a joint for every single one of them, and smoking it. But I also do enjoy being a little bit more clear with you friends. I completely agreed with those who see that the system is skewed, very much so, because it's a long time running, dude. Like it's been skewed for a while, and the longer it's skewed for, the more skewed it becomes, right? I think that's the thing that's kind of like bothering us. I'm gonna write wealth. We are talking about money, but I believe what we as a community seek is wealth, right? Not necessarily money. Hey Google, define wealth. Wealth, an abundance of valuable possessions or money. I believe the abundance of valuable possessions we have is our ability to love, right? We don't possess one another. We don't need to because we're here, right? Like to think of the larger hand that is our extension being the earth, holding all of us collectively, right? Abundance, type of abundance. Plenty, a plentiful supply of a particular desirable thing. Friends, wealthy with friends. So wealth on the one side, and then we'll do our Dega symbols. I would have also added some valor oil to it. Shan. The most negative cable is how physically filthy paper money is. Yeah, but who paper money is even anymore, right? How could Corona you think is on those paper sheets? How much Corona do you think is on those paper sheets? On these? Coronavirus? Hopefully none. I don't think there's any coronavirus on these little paper sheets. And if there was, they'll probably get wrecked when I smoke with it. Right, so I'm not too concerned. If you could write poems daily, what? How much Corona do you think are on those paper sheets if you could write poems daily? My brain's melting trying to understand without financial worry. How much poems could you write without financial worry? I write like, I don't know if it's poetry necessarily every day, but I write something every day. All right? Like I feel like maybe that's where we start, right? If we would like to do something every day without having to worry about financial worry, I think we should start doing it while being worried about financial worry, right? One has to come before the other. I'll do one of these and one of these and then one of these and then one of these and one of these and then Lisa as well. Got some runes. Let's see. I get it out of the ATM on the Vegas Strip, and there's a 5 out of 50 chance you go home with an unidentified STD. Oh, that's so disgusting. Sam and I were just talking about universal basic income yesterday, of course. Starting this business makes it so hard with literally nothing coming in. A few $100 a month allows me to grow and others benefit. Exactly, dude. And it is not like that money is going to just go into your pocket and then you're just gonna hoard it. You're going to put that money directly back into the economy, buying food, you know, buying services, buying whatever. Like money, people don't need an incentive to spend money, right? Inflation, like that's just one of those things that kind of pisses me off about money. It's like, oh yeah, people need an incentive to keep spending their money. Like anything you use to help you accomplish something, money is a tool. Humanity has just have a habit of exploitation. Oh yeah. Our past is like riddled with exploitation, but our future hopefully wouldn't be. Oh friends, I would be doing nothing but poems. That's where it starts, Kevo. Right? That's where it starts, Brother Bear. You do poems, but everything else, and then poems and everything else, and then poems and sometimes everything else, and then poems without everything else. But one step at a time, Brother Bear. One step at a time. Poems and chill will go on despite Reddit talks dying. We shall create a new space. Like YouTube is one platform. Thank you for your kissy kissy. No, stop. No, stop. Wow, that is the most excellent cable. I'll see it if it drop in. I would love to have anyone interested in the poetry show up today. Thank you for the invite, dude. Would love to have you. Now, nomadic poets are also known as bards, Cable. This is just the lifestyle. Yeah, maybe, Cable. The problem isn't you not being able to make poems every day. Maybe the problem is you not wanting to make poems every day, right? Not actually, right? What is the real value to you? And this is not me trying to be coy or stupid, or this is just me kind of like asking you a serious question in the same way I'm asking it of myself, right? What is more important, making poems or earning money? Uh, what is actually more important? Very difficult, right? Because Melt, I need to eat food. Yeah, do you? Yeah, I do. You can't beg. Hmm? You can't walk door to door, knock on people's doors, ask them if you can sit in, eat a meal with them, if you would read them some poetry. I feel like I'm the devil on Cable's shoulder right now. Cable is like, wait a second. I can actually write poems every day. Walk door to door, offering my poems to people, offering to write them a personal poem for their homes. A spell of love. Like there's a lot of wind happening here right now. I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see it. Hey, Toasty is here. Tangible wealth. You are the tangible wealth, dude. I can't touch you quite, but I know you're on the earth right now, being held. Kevo, hope to join your new space today. So glad you're finding a way to continue sharing your poems. Love is true. Thank you, Esrog, for sharing that love. I got a different heater for the outdoor shed, and it's a toasty 70 degrees Fahrenheit when it's 38 Fahrenheit outside. The plant's already soon, which will make the stress of the electric in the basement. I think my family's back. You can hear something. Is that Peppy? Is that? Musical Mensa. My family has come back about me. My family. I got you still be I got my cell phone fixed. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Like my cell phone is fixed, friends. Tomorrow we will have microphones again. How exciting! Did you tell the friends about the Big Lebowski, Melty? I did. I did, JV. The Big Lebowski, like I feel like watching Moulin Rouge and the Big Lebowski kind of together. I watched the Big Lebowski first. Was like a weird juxtaposition. Like I saw myself in the Christian character, obviously. Him being love obsessed. It was like a little bit too in the face, to be completely honest. The singing, you know, I wanted to sing at one point in my life. I did sing at one point in my life. I went to sing. Hello, Buta. What's that? Wat my phone? Meneer Van That's okay. I went to sing once in my life and forgot. Well, I didn't really forget my words, but had to tweak my voice. And I got laughed op the stage. Dankie Buta. Waardeer je moeite. Oh. Yeah. My little fractal now has a USB port again. This makes my heart happy. I want to see the. Yeah, that is what I thought. They like pry the whole thing apart when they give you a new port. So they ruined my phone's waterproofness. Buta! Meso! He's away. Yeah, I mean, what can I do? It's not like I swim with my phone, so I guess that's the price we pay. Suffering is when you want for things to be differently. Alright? Oh, if only my phone didn't break. Oh, suffer. Oh, if only they didn't have to pry the black glass. I mean, they like literally pry it off. Like imagine suction cups being attached to the back, and then a heat gun being applied, and then the glue, the rubber seals being pulled off so they can replace the inside parts. That would probably mess up your waterproof rating. I'm so sorry. I don't believe it. Yeah, I also don't believe it. I'm sorry. Hey, Candace is joining us too. Melty for the first time last night. I actually talked about the things I wanted my bowl of weed to embody. Synchronicity. Yeah, dude. Intention. And how did it change your experience? Like I'm really curious, Doctor. Zano's here too. Tangible wealth. Thank you, Cave Toasty, for joining us as well. Sending you love, dude. Doctor, I'm so glad you had a good night's sleep, right? Man, thanks, Lois. It's been so long. You get a night last night, and you go, shoot, this is what people talk about, right? And it's like, this is what sleep is supposed to feel like. This is what it's like to be rested. What? People sleep like this? Toast, I'm going to link a song in the Discord that pops in my head every time I hear your name. Please do send that synchronicity as well. Shan, it was cool to see you with your hair cut down today. I love the cut. I noticed something, but my mind didn't register the change that much. I wonder why that is. I feel I look at eyes more than anything. Wow, feels like when I first showed up with the names I'm seeing. Right? Our old friends, dude. Candace, Lois, Javi, Chan, Susanna, Esra, Lolo. So much love in the chat right now. Even Corey! I was just thinking about you, dude. That's so trippy. Like, I saw Doug Dad's name, and then I thought for a second that it was Corey, and then now I see Corey's name as well, dude. Sending you love right there. It's nice having you. I like how chat is as if we're all in a classroom and one by one we wake up and we take road call. I like that, dude. That's nice. My whole life, my family has brought me love. I've been my whole life. My family has bought my love. It's been hard learning how to have a healthy relationship with money growing up in a family suffering with chronic overspending. Gotta fill the void somehow. And the sad part is the void never gets filled. Right? Not really. The void just gets shifted. It's like your current perspective is full, but the void is still inside of you, right? And then as soon as the novelty wears off with the current perspective, then the void remains inside, right? Like you have to turn inward if you're gonna try and escape the void. The only way out is in, right? I really like that one. The only way out is in. There's nothing out there, friends. It's you. It's you. You are it. Uh, I'm gonna talk about this in the next few days, but today during meditation, and it almost ended up being today's stream topic. But since watching the movies I did watch last night, both of them were technically surrounded, had like money as a theme, right? And how money messes things up, you know, changes the dynamics. I felt like that was what we had to talk about. But the topic that I was meditating on today is how every single person is a new beginning, right? On a literal level, on a you were born, meaning you get to begin anew as a human being, as a life, but also right now in this moment, right? Like this could be the beginning of a new journey. This might be today, might be the beginning of your exercise journey, might be the beginning of your art career. You starting to draw on a napkin, right, with a pen. That could be the beginning of your art career, etc., etc., etc. So we'll talk about that as well. Health is wealth. Oh yeah, this I agree with as well. My family is back. Hurry up, smoke the weed. Start stripping weed quickly. Miss you too. We love you, brother Corey. It's nice having you here. How is our beloved Eden? Jesse. It's been so long since saying her name. How's the little fruit cup doing as well? Long hair problem, Shanansky, of course. Nice singing, thank you. How the Bee Gees falsetto at point? Are you talking to me? Family is back, so phone is back. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm very excited about it. It's like super dead, but I'm just happy that the microphones will be working again. I actually get to use this phone as a camera the way I intended to. Cheese melt, you could have been in the Bee Gees if that falsetto. Your friends are flattering me. You stop it. You stop flattering me right now. Stop. I want to be able to sing. I do. I really do, and I will. I think I will make music one day. I'm just waiting for it to be easy because I'm lazy. Yeah, I am. I've made music, but it's so fucking hard. Like it is a work. Like imagine like walking, right? Like imagine you're walking somewhere, point A to point B. That is like kind of what a song is like, right? There's a start and there's an ending. But with music, it's like walking the same path in multiple different lanes simultaneously. And sometimes you have to take large steps, and sometimes you have to take small little steps, and sometimes you have to take varied steps. And the more steps you take, the more mangled things become, the more mindful you have to be about what you add. The more you want to add, the more you add, you might mess things up. It's a little bit of a nightmare, but at at some point there will be music made. Happy day 518. Thank you, Lolo. Sending you love too. Okay, to wealth. To you, friends, providing wealth as yourselves. We are not slaves to money. We are ambassadors of love. And as love becomes the truth of the world, it will be the thing that takes up the most value. So we will continue to grow infinitely valuable. Apparently, my love is cheap. Lol yard sale toys with missing arms and clothings with holes and slightly stained as a kid. But my love is real. It is the thought that counted. I love the family. I love my family. And we love you, Candace. I don't think your love is cheap. I don't think there is such a thing as cheap love. I think love is true, right? It's a truth. It's like a fundamental force of the universe, like gravity. And if love wasn't true, I don't think anything at all would be. Right? Like there is a certain level of self-love in survival, in just wanting to survive. So if things didn't have that level of love, nothing would want to, and everything would die. That is my area code. My family's okay. Fruit Cup has a constant runny nose and a cough, and she's having a blast playing with her toys. Taking her to my cousin's baby shower later. I hope she gets better soon. I'm sorry to hear that she's still not doing well. We were sending you love when you sent that message of her not feeling well. It's nice having you here again. I hope she feels better soon. How are you doing? My connection is so bad. All I'm getting is chat. So sorry, Melt. I can't see your stream. It's okay, Candace. Thank you for the love nonetheless. Does that seriously have a case on it? God damn it. They reseal your phone, dude. I have taken phones apart a few times. Does that series? No, no, no. It has a case on it. Like this is the case I have for it, but like the way it used to look is flush. All right, let's see if I can get this to be shown. There we go. There you go. There you can see it perfectly. Stop looking at my eyes. Stop looking at me. Maybe I can do it like this. You stop looking at me. Mm, 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 mm. There we go. You see that? That gap is a lot of room for water to ingress inside my phone. And that used to be sealed. But my port is working, and that means my microphones will work, and that is what's important. I don't submerge my phone into the water, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yes, things are I. I think he just took it out for a minute, but the case doesn't look like it's doing him any favors. Yeah, the case is just like hey so also is sa kawari but a kawari wer. Yeah, it also day like a gap in my phone no. Mm. do 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 do. And do. Fruit cup has a constant runny nose. Made me think of a fruit cocktail in heavy syrup. That is a weird thing to think about. Doing well, sun is shining, birds are chirping, spring is showing its beautiful smile. I'm happy to hear that. It's starting to get a little bit cooler here in South Africa as well. Amara has been dealing with a stuffy nose and cough as well. I'm happy that little fruit cup doesn't seem to be bothered by it though. I hope you guys have a great time at the baby shower today. It sounds nice. Corey, I have the birds chirping. Glad you have the rest. The sun came out yesterday. It was amazing. It felt like it's been months. I'm happy you friends have that as well. Like it also was like a little bit cloudy for a while, and it also started clearing up again. I can actually see blue. So we're sharing some fractals in that as well. Since when are men allowed at baby showers? Men aren't? Since when are men not allowed at baby showers? Is the question that comes to my mind. Exactly, Doug. When it hits 10 degrees Celsius in October, it's all, oh, so damn cold. And then it hits 10 degrees in March, and it's like, oh, let's put on some shorts and a hoodie. Of course, the talking to the weed was a fantastic way for me to switch parts of my day. My work was over, and rather than just smoke the bowl, I shared my success of the day, and I put my mind towards family time. I really did help shift my brain off crazy work mode or stressed about what's next. I was allowed at the baby shower. Never been to another qualification. Amen. Duck Dad, it makes me happy to hear you embracing this intention setting, dude. I know it's kind of weird, but it's like one of those things where the only reason I do things is because I believe in it. And I've noticed that it does change things when I do it. Again, to that sentiment, well, well, well. Viking, an excuse to get together is an excuse my family will take. Baby showers are becoming more of a co-ed thing. Yeah, separation is a lie. Anyway, right? And I'm pretty sure that the men wanted to stay away because they couldn't be bothered with. But now we actually do want to be bothered because we care about our children and about others. Any reason to fire up a grill, right? Eden is at work this weekend. She's doing well. A bit stressed with Fruit Cup being some kind of sick, but often. A bit kind of sick more often than not. Yeah, I can only imagine. You know the thing that's kind of weird to me, Corey, and this might just be like a very silly thing for me to think, but when COVID just became a thing, it was mostly adults being affected by it, right? And I was kind of curious about that. And now we've like transitioned into like an other side of it where the kids are the ones getting more sick and the adults are the ones not getting sick. And I've been for a long time thinking about sickness, as like a arms race back and forth between humans and our environment. And every single time you get sick, it's like getting a software upgrade. It's like you're literally on a biological level becoming more resistant to this sickness, right? Yes, it can also cause like damage inside of your cells, which is not great, but it also teaches your body how to survive that attacker next time. And the fact that the kids are going through this, it points me towards thinking that there is yet more change coming. Oh goodness, and they're the ones almost like taking the brunt of it. I got together with my mom, sis, and aunt, and we shared and had a smoke circle for my aunt's birthday. I never saw myself not hiding it from my mom. Togetherness is magical. That makes me so happy to hear, Jovan. I also got to smoke like a few puffs with my dad last Friday. Like not this Friday that passed, the Friday before. And it was nice. We had like a little bit of a chat and then we started talking about the future. And me and my dad's perspective on the future are very different, right? Like my dad simultaneously doesn't believe in global warming while also believing that the rapture is coming soon. Oh, so soon, right? Like we're going to be raptured any second now. Because look at how the world is degrading. Oh, look at how the world is falling apart. Oh, there's less Christians than there's ever been, and there's more people, defaulting to being more spiritual than Christian, right? So in his mind, the world is ending, while also not believing in the reality of the world ending, at least the world we know ending because of global warming. And then that conversation kind of started, right? And me and my dad have reached this point where if we start having conversations that is going to create polarity, strong polarity in disagreement, we cease it. We're like, yeah, having this conversation isn't going to help anything, so let's not. And that has helped. It helps us get along a little bit better. So I'm happy about that. Sending love, health, and wealth, I'm guessing, to the fruit fam. I'm sorry to hear that, Nana. Thank you for the love. Jovan, that is really cool, right? Being able to smoke with your mom, your aunt, and your sister sounds like a whole vibe. That's a scrapbook experience, Joe. Please do. You know, one of those that needs to be journaled about. It was wholesome AF, super bonding. Turns out, mom was intermittently hiding it from us for all our life. How about that? I saw this. Was it an SNL skit? Can't remember. It was some sort of skit where the son, and the dad were like in this disagreement. They were fighting one another, and then they kind of like went apart to their own spaces and their own rooms, and then both of them started smoking weed alone. And the dad was like, "Ah, oh, if only there was something me and my son could use to bond over." And then, like, I'm just imagining that fractal for you your whole life with your mom, and now her coming out, being able to actually connect with her on something like that. A helicopter is flying so low, it's shaking my entire house right now. He saw some peppers so hot the chilies want to weaponize them. Yes, I love that. Corey, you're such a G. So on it. What if I did? What did you do? What the fuck did you do, Doc? Sam, it must have been our king of the hill chat. Got to Dale. Hurry, the more like. Hurry, be more like Hank. Corey, don't talk about the pepper gun in comments. Squirrel tactic. You friends are hilarious. If you haven't checked it out, Johnny Hardwick used to, I guess, was a Dale YouTube channel. He had some fun with it. I don't know why, but this is taking my mind to people like Filthy Frank as well. 2 days in a row, we have Frank-based creators. Joji. You might know him as Joji now. Joji used to be Filthy Frank. Back in the old. Back in the before four times. Before the apocalypse. YouTube used to be the wild, wild west, yo. Filthy Frank. Like Filthy Frank, just like I'm trying to imagine my kids one day seeing Filthy Frank. Pink Guy. Watching Pink Guy's music. We're listening to it. Maybe you can watch Pink Guy's music as well. Like there's a lot to it. Good morning, Joe Schmo. It's nice having you here, friend. Yeah, he's got a ton of those. Hit the pocket sand in the style to be. It can't believe Papa Melt smoke. My dad smokes a lot, dude. I roll a joints with my dad, where he'll like smoke little bits of it sporadically. He has a pipe as well. He just doesn't smoke with me because I do consider myself. This is now the ego speaking, and I'm like, "What do you want to say? Oh, you want to say something?" Yeah, I want to say something. I do consider myself someone who can speak, right? And I do believe that I have the capacity to convey my understanding of the world. And if you smoke with someone, you are more likely to actually listen. And my dad knows that. And he doesn't like listening to me because I do believe he knows what I'm saying is making sense. But even though it makes sense, it doesn't agree with his worldview. So it makes him very uncomfortable to talk to me when we're in this state of mind. And it makes me sad, but I also understand. I'm kind of honored, actually. I'm like, kind of like proud. Like, okay, I see you, Dad. Fine. mm Papa Melt ain't no square. Like, he doesn't want to take psychedelics, though. He'll smoke a little bit of weed. But he's so, like, scared of psychedelics, still, for some reason. I feel like I knew several Filthy Franks from back in the punk rock days. Like a chimney. Melt, Remedy Today. I did. I've already taken all of it. I don't know if I'm supposed to do it that way, but I felt kind of like I wanted to take them today. Like I don't know if need is the right word, but there was like a feeling like that. Stop smoking, Melt. That's a full sentence. SRS. I see the love in your words. I really do. I shouldn't be smoking. You're right. It's not actually good for me. I'm breathing in partly carcinogen. Thank you for caring. You know, I'm running so many fractals, but that's what I feel I should say. But my initial reaction was, don't tell me what to do. That was like my first, my ego was like, knowing, knowing full well, knowing 100% that S or S is actually right. I shouldn't actually be smoking. And then the other side of me is like, you're scaring me. I'm scaring you. Yeah. A dude on a screen thousands of miles away from you, somewhere in Africa, sitting on a farm. You know, I don't even have a car. I have to walk somewhere if I want to go far. Or I have to get myself a lift. I'm be scared. Oh, I'm coming. I smoke with my mom, and I get a lot of my weed from her since she lives where all the California weed comes from. Your mom is such a gangster, JD. Exhibit approved comment. What? Smoke more and more and more. Joshua, I like to know what, apart from legacy, makes Kali weed better than the other weed. Competition, probably, Sam. So much competition. And, you know, competition begets people trying to one up one another. So, competition begets iteration, iteration begets patterns, patterns beget processes, processes beget quality. Or at least measurable quality, right? And yeah, that process has been iterated for a long time. And now it has reached this pinnacle of weed stronger than it's ever been. And very well made, cured and everything, right? Mel, maybe because your dad had some sort of internal conflict inside him with his views and yours, he's possibly worried about what the mushrooms might show him. Absolutely. 100,000% agreed. I feel like that's exactly what he's worried about as well. Because he's had two experiences where he took like 1 gram. One when he was battling with COVID, I gave him a gram of mushrooms. And once when we went like hiking in the mountains, I gave him some mushrooms. Like a gram, a single gram of mushrooms. And now he believes he knows what it's about, right? Like that's the thing that I think bothers me the most is that when I suggest that he should actually try a decent dose of psychedelics, you know, so that he can see for himself what I'm talking about, right, with these experiences, he likes to tell me he knows what it's like. And I'm like, no, Dad. No, you don't. And he hates that. He hates it so much. He hates being told that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He hates it like with a passion. It's like the one thing that gets underneath his skin. But if you haven't taken 5 grams of mushrooms, you don't know what it's like taking 5 grams of mushrooms, right? Like that's kind of how it works. It's like you can't know what it's like to drive in a car if you've never driven in a car, or what it's like to be drunk if you've only, you know, drank a single beer once in your life. And yeah, I I accept that. Right? I accept that he has resistance. What I believe is gonna happen is time will progress. Over the next 10 years, we're probably going to be doing a lot of psychedelic research. We're gonna find again patterns. Patterns are gonna beget processes. So processes are going to beget quality results. It's like, oh yeah, look at this. Neurogenesis? How about that? Your brain cells grow back. Oh, how about this? Get out of your default mode network? Oh, isn't that great? There is more to what you think reality is than what you think reality is. Right? It's that simple. it's like it's like being shown how much more is going on at all times than the things you kind of allow to come through. Opens the floodgates, in another metaphor. And I want my dad to kind of have that perspective because he's in his default mode network, right? And that's not a bad thing. Being in your default mode network allows you to get by every day, right? It helps you survive. But we have transcended survival. All of us are living right now, right? We don't have to constantly be worried about wild animals in our environment that could maul us to death, right? We've solved these problems. We don't have to worry about starving to death over the next week because we know where food is, right? Even conceptually, we know it's in a grocery store, relatively easy to reach. We know that people are farming right now, right, to provide more food. We know the amount of technology that is being developed in that direction as well. Like, we have gone beyond survival on the physical plane, and our survival has become a mental game. And it's almost like you have to survive your own scrutiny when you take psychedelics, your own awareness, in the depth of your own awareness. And that can be a bit much. It is. It is a bit much. That's why you don't do it every day. That's why you can't. Your brain won't allow you to. It will build so much tolerance that you feel nothing, right? And that's the beautiful thing about it. I feel like the most beautiful experiences come from taking, large swaths of breaks from it. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Like, I feel the ideal, and this is probably what I'll settle into as I go into the future, is like 4 times a year on the seasons, right? Like, you're transitioning with them. And 4 times, doing anything 4 times a year, I feel is a pretty calm, approach to it. That doesn't sound like something addictive to me. And even that 4 times a year, it would be something you'd have to schedule because you will make excuses. That's the thing that's crazy about it to me as well. Like, you'll make excuses not to do it. Right? Anything that people, become addicted to, they'll make excuses to do it. Like, you won't make excuses not to. Oh goodness. It's a mental game that we're playing mostly these days, right? We're trying to survive up here because your body, it's breathing for you right now. It'll get hungry and you will get up and seek something to eat. Like, these things, like, and this is a conversation I had with, friends as well. Them worried about being mind controlled by, brain computer implants one day. I'm like, you're being mind controlled by your own body, dude. What do you mean? You ceaselessly want to eat food, right? Day after day, you want to drink water. You ceaselessly want to breathe air. Are you being mind controlled to do that, or has that just become a part of your reality? Right? It has become a requirement for your survival. There is no separation. Observer and observed. Yeah, the story in between is, yeah, we're separate. Look at us. So separate right now? No. Oh goodness, and it's so absurd, right? It's so absurd. Like, how could we? How could we really come to these conclusions over and over again, throughout the eons? Like, this is not a new idea, right? That's the beauty about it for me. Like, I don't think we are the first to have come to these conclusions, but that's the thing that convinces me even more. Like, these understandings, these ideas, these ways of interpreting our relationship to this reality has been had before, right? You, as consciousness, have come to these conclusions over and over and over and over again. And coming back to today's topic, the introduction of money and the way that we had it for the last, what? Hey, Google, how long have we had modern money for? For the last 3,000 years, right? Has been a radical shift in the way that we value things. We used to value tangible wealth, right? As Tothi beautifully said, places to live, food to eat, animals that we could see, etc., etc., etc. And then we, 3,000 over the last 3,000 years, turned to this medium that could be kept in a bag that could get you all of those things: a house, animals, things to eat, right? That is a radical shift in the way that we kind of approach our relationship to this reality. And it has disconnected us in many ways, right? It has taken our power away to realize what true wealth actually is. And I'd like to believe that we're taking it back, right? And it's not a taking it back by violence. It's not a taking it back by actually physically taking it with your hands, but it's a taking it back on a mental level, right? It's not a physical fight. It's a mental fight that we're fighting with ourselves right now. Believing that we are poor because we don't have this thing called money, and yet the wealth that is around you right now, the ability to see trees, to breathe air from the atmosphere infinitely, to drink water, to eat food, and the fact that you've had access to food your entire life, you've had access to food. We live in a good time. We live in such a good time. We are wealthy, all of us, beyond. Like we as human beings, right? Even what we would consider ourselves, the normal humans, right? Not the uber wealthy, not the extremely, disadvantaged. The median, right? Are more wealthy than any human being has been in our past, even kings, right? When it comes to your access to information, woo, your ability to communicate cross continental, that is insane. The fact that we're reaching one another right now. Thank you, friends, for making me feel wealthy beyond measure. Literally beyond measure. Every single one of you contributing to the space right now adds an infinity to that wealth that I'm considering. Infinity, and then another infinity, and then one more infinity, and then an infinity on top of the infinity. Okay. Sam, nothing. They just had less strict police policies, so the shotgun effect of cultivating and reproducing plants. Kali has always been hailed as a great spot, but you can grow amazing weed pretty much anywhere. Yep, it wants to grow. It's best to space them out, melt, but as long as you get them in, that's what matters. Thank you. Yeah, just like to have the frequencies reintroduced throughout the day. I'll take some more tonight even. Let's space them out. Thank you again, just for letting me know. Joe, for Outer Grow, it's one of the best places in the country. Yeah, all of that sunlight. I do after 3 months, finally. That's making me so happy. So, how many weights of gold did you have to pay for it? I'm guessing you're like leaning into the topic. I don't know. I only smoke California weed, so I have nothing to compare it to. Yeah, that does probably skew your understanding of it as well. I'm guessing you enjoy the weed that you've smoked, so maybe that is what to compare it to, your own experiences. I'm still dry right now. I'm just getting used to not smoking. I hate it. Maybe there's like something to gain. Maybe there's like a valuable experience in that as well, right? The novelty of not smoking. Thank you, Joe Schmo, for embracing that novelty. Yay! Love to you. I know we were smoking chronic when everyone else only had that that dirt weed. Yeah, you got this juju. The clarity that came from not having it was pretty awesome. Hope you get to experience it soon. Are you done with it, or just taking a break? I think he hates having to get used to not smoking. I think that's I hate it. I think that's what he hates. Not the not smoking, not the smoking, but the getting used to the not smoking. At least that's the way I interpret it for a second. Kali kind of buds are by far the king when it comes to long-running reputation for being great. They're always tasty nugs there. Yeah, like just the photos I've seen, the way they looked, like the visible little houses and the crystals that form on top of them, little trichomes. It's beautiful. Jovan, I'm in a weird transitional space in my spirit, and I'm not sure if I'm done with buds. I just don't have any. But I might not get any for a bit. Louisiana, so much love. How are you? Thank you for asking, Joe. That's nice. Jovan, not having any for a few days was putting me on edge. But after quitting my mind, quieting my mind about it, I have started to understand how much I was reliant upon that feeling. Reflecting on that truth, it made me take pause. Dude, that makes me so happy to hear you say those words. It's that spending time with yourself, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. That moment of reflection, of being like, huh, instead of distracting myself with whatever, just I'm seeing a butterfly, being with that experience, your conscious evolution. It's an active process, and it can be, as you mentioned, right? Uh, Something that you have to take pause with, and taking pause can sometimes be uncomfortable. I was feeling into that idea, Juju. I have good feels about the path that you take, and I'm grateful for the things that will unfold for you during it. I really feel that you use your growth tools efficiently. So beautifully said, Jovan. Thank you for sending so much love. Not too sure what the next day looks like. I can honestly say that I would absolutely smoke right friggin' now if I had some though. I'm trying. Thank you for the boost of confidence. See how long you can go. See if that feeling goes away. Because and this is something that I'm gonna say because I've noticed it in myself. When I went to China, I also at first had this nag to want to smoke. It wasn't hard for me not to smoke. There was no withdrawals. I had no problems. But I had this. It would be nice. It would be nice, right? No need, but it's like that would be nice. And I went through that for the whole year. I had like I think two experiences where someone had like a THC vape pen, and then one of the people, other teachers, actually had like a little grow tent. So I had like two experiences smoking in China itself, and those experiences in my mind were pretty nice. But I also viscerally noticed during my stay in China how, in the same way, it's something that I rely on. It made me feel a little bit more calm. And I noticed that there was like a balance that I have with Advert as well, where I have like a certain pattern of pushing myself and doing, and then weed kind of allows me the other side of that fractal, like the calming effect of it. So yeah, that agitation can be kind of unnerving sometimes, but I believe in you, friend. Truthfully, I'm gonna take a sip of water first. Truthfully, I've been at it a lot since I've had some. Been thinking of putting boundaries back on, and just to keep myself in check, the breaks put things in a good perspective. It really does. It allows you just to be more appreciative of it as well, right? Because you know why you smoke. You have an ultimate underlying intention for it. But the more you smoke, the more it becomes you doing it for the sake of doing it instead of having that active intention in mind. And then when you stop, that attention almost arises and you're like, ah, this is why I enjoy doing it. And then going back into it you can kind of like be mindful of it from that perspective and then lean into that mindful perspective. And then you get even more out of your experience as well. One, because of your tolerance being now kind of lower, and two, because of your mindfulness going into it. So it's like a double whammy of energy. Love you, Pato Padre, the Pepper Pappy. That's so cool. I love that as well. I have to bounce out. We'll see you again, Duck Dad. Love you, my dear friend. Calm and silliness. May you all manifest abundance, calm and silliness until we meet again. I love that. May the plants grow healthy and the sales become plentiful. Thank you, Joe. Zana saying, I've stopped smoking weed for exactly a year next month. I love weed and weed culture. It's so hard, but every time I start up again, I need more and more, and it becomes really hard to stop myself. I've quit 3 times, and this time is for real. I'm just happy that I got to a place where I can see myself losing control with it every time and see the cycle and finally break it. Spending the time with yourself, right? And you had to go through those cycles. You had to go through those iteration processes so you can see the patterns are rising from those processes. And I'm proud of you for actually listening to yourself when you speak, Zana. I would still like to envision a world where, if you were at a friendly get together, that you would allow yourself to like take a puff. But I celebrate your commitment to completely stopping because of your, propensity to start forming a negative pattern. I'm noticing behaviors in myself as well right now, considering your process. I appreciate you sharing. Susanna, I have always stopped and started on a whim with mostly any substance. It's just sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Yeah. Susanna, I'm so damn proud of you. I'm every day for 10 years after this growth season. I'm going to look to you for guidance. You are powerful. Please do, Duck Dad. Please do, but the bear. I have hard lines on some stuff, but weed isn't one of those things. The only time I take a break is when I run out. Wonder if I'll quit one of these days. If there's something calling you to it, right? I feel, and this is now again Terence McKenna mildly brain damaging me, but he had this perspective on smoking weed where it should be something you do once a week, right? Like to end your week off, and then you smoke a bunch of it, all at once, and then you meditate in that experience instead of kind of like distracting yourself. You just close your eyes and you be with it. And I've had some of the most beautiful experiences with weed, smoking it that way, than I've had with almost like any substance. Like, it's kind of that cool. So maybe instead of stopping completely, the best thing we can do is just stopping the process of doing it daily, right? To make it like a 4 times a month type of thing instead of a 4 times a day type of thing. A shift in perspective. It is hard though, right? And the thing is, to me, Zano, that is something I believe and that is something I started to do. But in the same way, as soon as I have that really significant, beautiful experience meditating, when I take that week-long break, it almost like creates this power around the intention that I do it for, right? That significance of the connection. And then it makes me, fall back into the pattern of doing it, every day again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, dear friend. Javiv, I don't know if I'll quit, but I want to get to edibles. Edible RSO. That is not great for my lungs. The smoking, yeah, Susanna. You have set a benchmark for me. I got anxious just thinking about it, but I'm feeling kind of good about doing a year. Could be a way with the bear. Just ending up taking like 5 bong hits all day and dabs to go to sleep. It becomes like this, having to up and up and up. the doses of THC in order to get the high that I crave. It gets so out of hand. Yeah. And then you start feeling like a zombie, right? And you wake up feeling bad, and then that bad feeling leads you to wanting to not feel that bad feeling. So you smoke. And then because you started smoking early in the day, you have to continue smoking more throughout the day. And then by nighttime, you have to smoke so much that it's absurd. And then you wake up feeling bad. Right? And then just being able to take pause and notice, do I want to feel this way? What can I do differently? And that really is all we need. Just some time with ourselves. Thank you for bringing this into mind. And it will save you money. How about that? If you don't grow for yourself, it will save you money as well. Smoking only once a week instead of every day. I use edibles regularly when I'm out, but about and I can't smoke. It helps. Gonna roll the dice and see if it comes to fruition. It really has always been like medicine for me, and I'm trying to undo that perspective in a lot of ways. It's still like medicine to me, right? It makes me. I do think I don't know if it makes me more creative, right? Like that has been a perspective in a lot of people, but it gives me a certain level of dopamine. It excites me, I guess. Maybe instead of thinking of it as like creativity, it does excite me, and then I get to share that excitement with you friends in these streams. And in that way, I do like to think of it as type of medicine. Smoked for many years, I know. I want to smoke when I harvest my own plant. That's maybe the way I want to do it, dude. I like that actually. I will smoke when I harvest my own plant. Yeah, whenever that is. Hopefully soon for you, brother bear. You know, I think if it's still winter, you might still have to plant it. So might be a few more months. Goodness, I definitely romanticize the idea of the first puff. From my first homegrown plant, I'm a sucker for first. I like the first meal I cooked from my first garden. Goodness, it was so sacred. I was on another plane. You really do get to like levels. And I feel like that's all of that's like intention again, right? Like it's the attention you put into it over and over again, and then you can taste it, right? It's like your neurons are more tuned into that frequency that you're actually trying to address, trying to embrace inside yourself. Jovan, yeah, it will be very romantic moment, I think. I will be spiritually powerful. It will be spiritually powerful and positive way to break the fasting. I agree. I like to go my own way. I don't really care about what Terence McKenna says. I agree. The only reason I would echo his words, long since his passing, is because I agree, right? I've experimented with what he says, and I've noticed a certain level of truth in that experience where I'm like, yeah, I can see why you would say this. And even though I say it as well, I don't necessarily apply it day to day in my life, right? So I'm just sharing a perspective, and I'm prefacing that perspective by saying that Terence McKenna was also the one who gave me this perspective, and that's why I attempted it. You know. Full circle fulfillment. It's a beautiful fractal when I envision that moment. Better to go plant some seeds, cause I want to join right now. Sounds like a good idea. Thank you for covering 1111, Joe. I was scrub a dubbing. Thank you for the love. Can you wrap your phone in your scarf? A lot of wind noise. I'm going to pull a card, and I'll wrap the phone in the scarf for now. Let's see if I can. There we go. I hope that helps. Let's pull a card, shall we? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I can't tell you how hard it is the exact moment when you decide to quit. Because I was hospitalized for mania 1 year ago. Next month, the isolation and not being able to go outside for a month helps. So the first month of quitting, I had a lot of help and I was experiencing a very different reality. So I would say it may be harder for others. Ah, the joys of being mentally ill. You're fractal, beloved Zana. Like you're a fractal friend. And even though you're saying these things, I don't consider you lacking in any way, right? I feel like you get to have an experience that not any other person could ever have. Yesterday's stream topic was about diversity, right? That our diversity, the fact that we are different, is the thing that unites us. All of us are different, and that's what makes us one, right? Complete. So, yeah. Gang Zano, getting better. Purple and white. Birds in water. Yeah, purple. Let's see. Damn. It's amazing how well that works. Wind is blocked, but you're crystal clear. I'm so happy to hear that. Material. It's a material world. Material girl. Yeah. Susanna, you're blessed with a busy brain. And you're doing so great. This world is complex and a heavy place. And everyone needs a break sometimes. I agree, Joshua. That's so beautifully said, friend. Everybody deserves a break. You were loved, dear friend. I'm sorry, I think that one of the. Let's see. Hmm. You said purple? Purple with white lines? There is purple here, but I feel like the core is not that purple. Like look that like this heart is like actually made of purple. You said you friends saw the love. We got compassionate Pele holding her fiery heart. Flowers and love coming from her core. Gentle eyes looking at you. Her little crown of flowers. 41. I'm proud of you, kiddo. Love you, Joe. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We are reflections of you. We're reflections of you, dear friend. You're seeing yourself. This love that you feel, it is you seeing you. Big miss on that one. I don't think it's a big miss. I don't think it's a big miss. Like I feel you saw this heart, right? Like if that heart was completely colored in, it would be a big old purple, heart right here. The white lines, maybe, is a miss. There's not many white lines. There is white lines. Like maybe like light blue lines. It's not funny, bird. Stop laughing. Oh. I wonder how long it took to design that deck. Hey Google, do you know how long it took Francine Hart to design a deck of cards? Mm-hmm. Nope. I'm not getting that specific of answers. Francine Hart become more well known. Maybe we can help slowly but surely blow her up as well. Okay, compassion and emotional maturity. Pele is the passionate volcano goddess of Hawaii. Traditionally, she is depicted as powerful yet selfish, contrary, even vengeful. This card's alternate depiction comes from a shared vision relating to her passionate and compassionate side. She is as we are, maturing and becoming more loving and compassionate. Compassion is not passive, it is actively opening the heart through the awareness of the interdependence of all things, including other creatures, nature, and the inanimate world, right? Even our inanimate scarves, right? Think about that. Like the relationships. Like I wrapped a dead thing around the stream holder, right? This little cell phone. And now the relationship of the phone plus the scarf makes the audio sound a little bit better. Less wind noise. The interdependence of all things, including other creatures, nature, and the inanimate world. At our core essence, we exist as pure, unconditional love, realizing empathy and concern for others. If I wasn't concerned for your friends' ears, I would be like, nah, Joy Vive, suck up the wind noise. But no, we have empathy and concern for others. We sometimes forget this essence, or in our emotional immaturity, act as if we have. Compassion is the embodiment of emotional maturity as a clue to better understanding our humanness. Compassionate Pele now becomes an example and a guide for those who are intentionally remembering their soul essence. Hearts created from sacred geometry's golden spiral inform your movement towards emotional maturity. As we mature together, we will realize hope for the human race. Let this card be a reminder to walk the path of peace and compassion in every way, every day. Know that your every thought, word, action has an effect on the whole and touches the spirit of every other being. Walk in awareness with compassion for all of creation. Hot damn. Love is true. Love. Oh yeah, gobbity goo. Ooh, it's a Gab Nugget joining us too. It's nice having you here. How are you doing, Brother Bear? How the doggos? Each card is so intricate. A lifetime. Yeah, it's very unique. A lot of other tarot decks pull from older, more widely known decks, but this one looks like it's all original. It must have taken a long time. She is definitely a master of her craft. Jarviv, the deck is far the most impressive one I've ever seen. You friends make me happy. I think so too, Joe. Lol, easier said than done for some. Skip on a script. So much love to everyone here and everybody over there, and pretty much everyone alive. Blessings and prosperity to all of you beautiful creatures. And to you, to you too, Brother Joe. So much love. You coming to Shanghai, Joe? I hope so. It's like in a few minutes. You friends, Zano, Jaju, Gabidi Doo, Shan, and Joy, the lurkers in the shadows. You all bring so much light to my life. Thank you for being a vessel of infinite wisdom and experience and loves. Special love to you. That might be my favorite card. Mojo, thank you for being here, sharing that love as well. Thank you, friends, for being so freaking psyched to be alive. I love you, and I'll see you soon. If you want to join me on the Sangha, it's like in 17 minutes. Thank you for joining me. Cheers, cheers.